Resource management has always been a huge priority in these hero collector games. If you invest in the wrong character or wrong teams, it could set your account back months. So in this video, we're gonna make it easy for you, counting down the best teams in Marvel Strike Force that you could invest confidently in. So if you're ready to see which are the best teams in Marvel Strike Force along with some honorable mentions, then you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Marvel Strike Force fans. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin, and I hope you're having a great day. In this video, we're going to talk about the 10 best teams in Marvel Strike Force for January of 2023, along with some honorable mentions that don't quite make the list, but they are teams that I think that you need to build. Now, if this is your first time here on the channel, we talk about Marvel Strike Force here, and hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force videos. At least 5 videos per week on this channel with Q&A videos, news videos, gameplay, as well as countdown lists like this to help your Marvel Strike Force experience. But what we're going to do in this video is we're going to count down the top 10 teams, but we're not going to just go in this 10 to 1 order. We're going to go in tiers. Now, we have that honorable mention tier that we're going to save for last. Then we have the tier that this team is very dominant in one game mode. Then we have another tier where these teams are dominant in multiple game modes. And then the final tier is the teams that are the best teams in the game, and you could kind of interchange the rank of these teams in this order. But let's get to the list. Coming in at the number 10 spot is this team, the Weapon X. They are very, very dominant in war, but not really used in a lot of other game modes outside of that. Now, Omega Red and maybe the rest of this Weapon X team can be used in Crucible. I do use Omega Red in Crucible. Don't really use any of these characters in other game modes though. Now, if you don't have that Bionic Avengers, Lady Deathstrike can still work in those tech raids if you're struggling with that. Omega Red does have some versatility, but as soon as this Age of X is done in Cosmic Crucible, you'll see Wolverine fall off significantly. And in Silver Samurai and Sabretooth, they're just good characters on the team, but outside of the team, don't really have a use. So Weapon X is in that third tier. Let's move up to this next tier here, and we have a bunch of teams in here because they're versatile in many different game modes. Let's talk about the first team in this next tier, and that is this Undying team. Now, these are supposed to be a war team. You could punch up very big with this team because Hela and those undead Asgardians, aka Greg, that she summons back every time they die, well, they can take out teams much bigger than them, along with Zombie Iron Man and his moves as well. The rework to Hela just made this team very good. Now, the reason this team gets a little nod over that Weapon X team is because Hela is used in Arena right now. I use her in some of my arena counters, and sometimes I place her on defense as well. So the reason this team gets there is because they're used in war. They're also valuable in Crucible, and then Hela can also be used in Arena. So this is in this next second tier here. Let's move on to the next team on this list, and this is this Tangled team, this Tangled Web team, very dominant in Crucible. They were made for Cosmic Crucible, but because of that passive that Spider Weaver has of those charge, reducing the accuracy by 100%. She is also used in the arena meta right now, but you could also use this team in war. So dominant in 3 game modes and featured in many game modes, this Tangled Web team is not one to sleep on. And if you're in a Strike Pass 3 or above, you should have a 7-star Weaver right now. And hopefully we'll get announcements soon that other players will be able to get the rest of those shards. So hopefully everyone will get a 7-star Spider Weaver because she is a very, very good character. Hopefully we're gonna get an announcement soon, but yes, this is a team that you could build confidently, and Weaver is gonna be in the meta for a while. The thing about Weaver as well is she is one of the Strike Team members for that Apocalypse unlock. So you're gonna need to build her, and hopefully you got the shards for it. All right, next team is the Eternals. Now, this is a 2-person team. This 2-person team can take out many teams in the game. A lot of times what I do is put Loki in this, and this makes Cersei go before Icarus because Icarus has that big bomb on his ultimate. if he kills a character, he's going to do that big bomb again. Now, the reason that Loki goes in there because he's going to give a little more speed to Cersei. Cersei goes first, reduces the turn meter, and takes some health away from the enemies. And then Loki has his special, and then Icarus goes and blows them up. So very, very dominant mode. I'm still using both of these Eternals in arena depending on what my opponent has on defense. Obviously they are a very good team for the raids and is one of the solutions for the mystic section of the raids. And obviously they're good in war, they're good in Crucible. Eternals you could use everywhere. Almost made the list as this top tier team, but because there's only 2 characters, even though they're dominant in many game modes, they are in this second tier. Let's move on. Continuing in this second tier, it is this Infinity Watch, the old arena meta team. Now, while you won't find them in arena metas nowadays, they still are dominant in Crucible and in war. You could use them because of their kit. They start with evades, they start with these safeguards on them. It's gonna be very hard to kill them, and because of those opening buffs that they have, I think they're gonna remain in the meta for a while. This is an old team and it's still very relevant in game modes like Crucible and War, so they are in this second tier, versatile. If you have some of these other requirements done like arena and your raids, this is a team that, even though it's older, still has a lot of value in Marvel Strike Force. So yeah, if this, as long as it's not one of your first teams, because they don't fill other roles like in the raids and arena. But if you're looking for a team that is very good in War and Crucible and should be good for a while, Infinity Watch is a great team for that. Moving on in this second tier, it is the War Dogs. And I gotta be honest, this is one of the most fun teams that I'm using right now. They're so fast and they're designed for Cosmic Crucible, designed for War. I think that they're actually designed for War, but they're very good in Cosmic Crucible as well. The addition of Nakia and Black Panther 1mm makes the team so fast. They can get ahead of a lot of teams with speed. And a lot of times in Crucible, when I'm using this team, the other team does not even take a turn. So while they are designed for War, they're also very good in Cosmic Crucible as well. Not really seeing a lot of use for this team in Arena with any of their members or in the raids, but as far as Crucible and War, this team is super fun. And that is it for the second tier. Let's move on to this top tier, and I think you can guess what teams are going to be in this top tier. And again, within these tiers you could interchange their ranks. I probably would have Eternals higher than some of these other teams, but these are all the tiers and you can make the argument where they place on this list. Let's move on to this top tier though, and then coming in this top tier is this Gamma team. My goodness, very strong team. One of the most annoying teams that I have faced in Cosmic Crucible. I'm always or not always, but there's a lot of times I do some slight misplays and then Red Hulk gets his charges and destroys my team. So very annoying on defense, but very good on defense. Now this is a War team, so obviously they're going to be very good in War and can counter a lot of teams in War, if not all teams that I'm thinking of right now. But yeah, as far as arena, we got Red Hulk that is in the arena meta right now, and they could be a backup team for your bio raids if your web warriors aren't doing those certain nodes, especially node 2 in that bio section. If you don't have that rebirth team built up yet, well, this Gamma team works very well. They have some great synergy. Hulk is in this team as well, which is one of my personal favorites, and helped me get through the last Scourge node early this morning on stream. So this is a very strong team headlined by Red Hulk, and they are in that top tier. Another team in the top tier is another Horseman team. This is the former arena meta, and if we were just having non-hybrid teams in arena, full teams in arena, this would still be the top arena team. Although the hybrid teams have surpassed them more recently, they're still a very strong team and can counter a lot of teams. Very useful in War, very useful in Crucible. Morgan Le Fay is still in that arena meta, and Morgan Le Fay is still in those raid metas. So as far as versatility and dominance over other full teams, the Darkhold does it. Now, yeah, there are some hybrid teams that are pretty good, but as far as full teams, I think this may be the best full team, just a one-on-one per basis, if they're challenging each other without extra bonuses and things like that. So very good team. These are these Horseman teams in this top tier that if you are looking for Apocalypse, you're gonna have to build them anyway. So no, you waste the resources when you build these top teams here. Next is the new team on the block, the Death Seed team, headlined designed by Archangel, who I have not seen in the arena meta yet, but maybe getting there once Red Hulk gets his Awaken abilities, and probably is going to get there once Apocalypse comes to the game. But they are a raid team designed for the solution for the mutant raids in the Doom raids there, and they work very well. I have not played them yet, but I've seen videos, I've seen testing, and I've heard results, how dominant they are in the mutant section. The reason I haven't used them is because I'm on the left side, and we very rarely get to that mutant section. We're just trying for 30%, sometimes 60%. But yeah, I will get to test them very, very soon, but I have tested them in war. They're very good in war, very hard to counter in war if you bring in the wrong teams. And in Crucible, yes, other teams like Infinity Watch can easily counter them if you have them on defense, but if you bring in the wrong team, well, it can be a nightmare. You got that opening blinds from Magneto, you got the ability to remove debuffs off that team from Psylocke, you got healing, you got dark healing from Nemesis, you got Dark Beast in there as well. So very, very good team. Not quite yet in the arena meta as far as what I've seen, but I think they will be there soon, at least Archangel will be there soon. And last but not least, in this top tier is another Horseman team that you're going to need to build for Apocalypse, featuring Rogue, who is in the arena meta right now, and that Rogue Gambit combo is very, very strong. Gambit's not really, I don't really see him in arena, but Rogue is in there, and you could use that duo of Gambit and Rogue in multiple game modes. Now, as far as where they're used right now, where they are the solution to Crucible, I use them on offense just in case they have some tough in case my opponent has some tough defenses. They could get through most defenses without any issue because they were designed for Cosmic Crucible. So very, very good team. They're a part of the war meta. They're a part of the Cosmic Crucible meta. They're not as dominant in war as they are in Cosmic Crucible. And Rogue is still in this arena meta right now. So those are the teams. Those are the tiers. Let me know what you think of it. But let's move on to the next tier, which is the honorable mentions tier. It didn't quite crack this top 10, but these are very, very important teams in my opinion. All right, and the first team in this honorable mention, and again, no particular order in these tiers, is this Underworld team. Very, very good team. I was, the first time I used this team, very surprised how fast this team is. You got some blinds from Taskmaster, you got a lot of awesome effects from Mr. Negative, and we cannot forget Nobu. Nobu's one of the best characters in the game because he has that passive that can revive even when he is dead. So you can kill Nobu, he's still going to be reviving characters. But this is a very good team, very annoying on war defense, great on war offense, annoying on defense, especially if on defense in Crucible, especially because some of these characters have that Spider-Verse tag. So paired with some Tangled Web, they could be very, very annoying and tough to get through. Underworld is a very, very fun team if you're using them on offense, very annoying if you're using them in defense, but they are one of the best teams in the game. Not quite cracking that raid or arena meta, but are in that war and Crucible meta. Next are the Secret Avengers. You're going to need them for the raids. They're also very good in war, although their value is going down in war because you don't have this version of the Secret Avengers, which includes Kestrel on Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is going to be on that Heroes for Hire team on war, but yes, very good in Crucible. You're probably going to split this team up in Crucible and maybe not use certain characters like Maria Hill, but this is the best skill raid team right now, kind of by default. 3-person team with some extras, but this is a team that right now, until there's another skill team announced, this is the best skill team in the game, and you will need to build this if you're going into the Doom raids right now. Next is the Bionic Avengers. Very, very good in raids, and so good that you could actually sim if you get these guys high enough, but not as much use outside of it. Viv Vision is a key character in this, and if you see this team on defense, once you take out Viv Vision, this team falls apart. If you're using them on offense, they used to take out teams like Web Warriors, but I don't see Web Warriors too much anymore. So a lot of times this team sits on the bench in games like Crucible and War. But as far as raids, this is an MVP team, especially for that tech section of the raids. Moving on is a team of the future that I personally have not tested because the only real testing you could do on the test server right now, or as the last time I was on there, was in Doom 3.0. And Web Warriors can pretty much auto 3.0, at least the Web Warriors that I have in my account right now. So this is going to be the team of the future. This is a team that I think you will need to build eventually. All the reports, all the videos I've seen is this is a very good team, but maybe not needed right now. Web Warriors and the Gamma team can kind of muddle through the bio section of the Doom raids. But this is a team that's going to be needed for the future. And I guess if you just want to sim those Doom raids, save some time, word is that this team can fully sim those Doom raids as well. So good team, not necessarily needed right now, but they are going to be needed down in the future. And then let's talk about Young Avengers, who is kind of a very versatile team that you're going to use in multiple game modes, primarily in War, primarily in Crucible. They're very good on offense in both game modes, War and in Crucible. They're supposed to be more of a defensive team in War, but if you have to use them on offense because your defensive slots are filled, they're going to give you some great results. That heal and cleanse from Squirrel Girl is very, very great. And Kate Bishop is an awesome character when she's on your team, but very, very annoying character when you're going up against her. So that is the list, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Again, it's not in a 1 to 10 order, but in these tier order. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are there some teams that could have moved up a tier or down a tier? Do you think some of these honorable mention teams should have been on this list and some of the teams taken out of the top 10? Let me know your thoughts. Some of this will depend on where you are in the game, but I hope this helps you to use your resources and invest in them wisely. Have a great rest of your day, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, check out the rest of the videos on this channel. Check out some of the other videos on this channel. We got a lot of content related to Marvel Strike Force. Check me out on social media. And if you want to support the channel even more, check out some of the sponsors down below, including Amazon Coins, BlueStacks, my emulator of choice. I will see you guys next time. We got another great video coming up tomorrow. Give me that Hulk fist bump before you go today. ValleyFlyin out. Have a great one, guys.